Ripple is on a verge of something never seen before in world of crypto, and today I will tell you all about it. We will go through 9 shocking facts about XRP that can change your life forever. Imagine you knew how Bitcoin would end up today back in 2011. You don't need to imagine anymore. Just stay until the end of this video and you might find yourself in similar situation. I am Bitcoin Professor, and let me welcome you to Bitcoin Academy, #1 rising platform for crypto education. Today's video will consist from 9 key topics. So without losing time, let's move to topic number 1, which will explain why was XRP even created in first place. Slow international payments, high fees, and outdated banking systems. These are the problems XRP was created to solve. Right now, if you want to send money internationally, your bank uses something called SWIFT, a system so slow it can take 3 to 5 business days to complete a transfer, while charging you ridiculous fees along the way. But here's where XRP changes everything. This digital asset was specifically engineered to move money across borders in just 3 to 5 seconds. With transaction costs so low, they're practically free. Unlike Bitcoin, which was created as means to move money, but later evolved to digital gold, or Ethereum, which powers smart contracts, providing decentralized applications. XRP has one focused purpose: to be the fastest, most efficient bridge between different currencies and payment systems. It achieves this through something called the XRP Ledger, a decentralized network that validates transactions instantly without needing miners like Bitcoin does. Here's what makes this so revolutionary. While we're all distracted by Bitcoin's price movements and Ethereum's latest upgrades, XRP has been quietly being adopted by major financial institutions. Through RippleNet, a network that uses XRP's technology, banks and payment providers are already testing the system to move billions of dollars daily. But why isn't this common knowledge? Because the current financial system makes huge profits from keeping transfers slow and expensive. They don't want you to know there's a better alternative. The truth is, XRP represents the biggest threat to the outdated banking systems we've been stuck with for decades. For beginners just entering crypto, this is crucial to understand. XRP isn't trying to be digital gold or power the next Facebook of blockchain. It's solving one specific but massive problem: making global payments instant and affordable. And in doing so, it's positioned to become the backbone of our future financial infrastructure. The question isn't whether this technology will be adopted, it's already happening behind closed doors. The real question is, will you understand its importance before the rest of the world catches on? And if you want to understand it, let's move to more mind-blowing topics, starting with topic number 2, which will dive in one government use case of Ripple's technology. What if I told you the same government that's been fighting crypto secretly did tests with XRP for moving taxpayer money? This isn't conspiracy theory. It's a little-known chapter in crypto history that changes everything we thought we knew about XRP's real-world adoption. In 2018, while the SEC was preparing its lawsuit against Ripple, a U.S. Treasury Department agency called the Federal Reserve Banks was quietly running pilot programs using XRP's technology. But what is their goal? To modernize how the government handles cross-border payments between different Federal Reserve districts. Here's how it worked. The Fed used a payment interface that can utilize XRP in order to move money between U.S. banks in seconds instead of days. This wasn't some theoretical experiment. Real government transactions were flowing through this system, while mainstream media was still debating whether crypto had any practical use. The most shocking part: they achieved settlement times of just 3 to 5 seconds with transaction costs under 1 cent. Compare that to the current Fedwire system that takes hours and charges 82 cents per transfer. A massive difference when you're moving billions in government funds daily. Why does this matter? Because it proves 2 critical things. XRP's technology works at the highest levels of finance, and even regulators who publicly criticize crypto were willing to use it when no one was watching. This pilot program quietly ended in 2019, around the same time the SEC began its crackdown. The timing raises uncomfortable questions. Was XRP becoming too successful? Were traditional payment systems feeling threatened? For crypto beginners, here's the key takeaway. When even the government secretly admits a cryptocurrency solves real problems, you know the technology is legitimate. The real battle isn't about whether XRP works. We know it does. It's about who gets to control the future of money. Since we mentioned control, you know by now how traditional currencies are losing value every single day due to a thing called inflation. Well, that's another thing Ripple has covered. Let's dive a bit deeper in topic number 3, which is stability. Behind the scenes of Ripple's operations lies a financial mechanism so powerful it could make or break XRP's future. While most crypto beginners focus on price charts and news headlines, they're missing the elephant in the room: Ripple's carefully engineered escrow system, holding nearly half of all XRP in existence. This isn't just a large stash of digital currency. We're talking about a programmed release system controlling approximately 48 billion XRP, worth over $100 billion at current prices. The sheer scale of this reserve dwarfs the treasuries of most cryptocurrency projects. What makes this particularly fascinating is how it functions. Each month, a predetermined amount becomes available, with Ripple strategically deciding how much to use and how much to relock. The implications are profound. Unlike Bitcoin's unpredictable mining rewards or Ethereum's shifting issuance, XRP's supply is meticulously managed through this escrow. This creates a level of stability rare in crypto markets, but also raises serious questions about decentralization, which is another thing financial institutions love. The escrow acts as a shock absorber during volatile periods when prices surge. More XRP can enter circulation. During downturns, supply tightens as excess gets relocked. What most beginners fail to grasp is the long-term nature of this arrangement. The current escrow schedule extends through at least 2027, meaning Ripple will maintain this extraordinary level of supply control for years to come. This isn't a temporary measure. It's a fundamental characteristic of how XRP operates. The system presents a paradox. On one hand, it provides protection against wild price swings that plague other cryptocurrencies. On the other, it means XRP's market dynamics are fundamentally different from assets like Bitcoin, with a single entity exerting unprecedented influence over supply. For investors, understanding this mechanism isn't just helpful, it's essential for making informed decisions about XRP's role in any crypto portfolio. And if all of this is sounding too confusing, make sure to watch our beginner-friendly course that is explaining top 4 cryptocurrencies from scratch. Link will be down in description. But if this technology is so fast and transactions are so cheap, why don't more people use it? This is topic number 4, and things are getting spicy. Here's a shocking truth that will make you question everything about cryptocurrency adoption. XRP can move money anywhere in the world for less than the price of a gumball, yet most people still use outdated systems that charge 30 times more. While Bitcoin and Ethereum can take up to $100 for single transaction during busy network times, sending XRP never costs more than a fraction of a penny, a cost so low it might as well be free. This isn't theoretical. It's been working this way since 2012. The technology behind this is called the XRP Ledger, a payment system that doesn't rely on energy-intensive mining. Instead, it uses a unique consensus mechanism where trusted validators confirm transactions in seconds. For beginners, think of it like a digital highway with no toll booths. Money moves fast without expensive middlemen taking cuts at every turn. Yet, here's the paradox. Despite this revolutionary cost advantage, most retail investors ignore XRP in favor of flashier cryptocurrencies. Banks and payment providers are adopting the technology through RippleNet, but everyday users remain focused on assets with higher fees and slower speeds. The reason are 2 critical misunderstandings. First, many assume all cryptocurrencies are essentially the same, not realizing XRP was specifically engineered for payments rather than being digital gold or a smart contract platform, which is why you will have the edge over others if you stay until the end, because you already understand so much more than average crypto trader, and we haven't even touched the juicy stuff yet. Second, the crypto media rarely highlights practical utility, preferring to focus on price speculation and celebrity endorsements. The reality is staring us in the face. We now have a technology that can send $10 million across borders for less than a fraction of a penny, yet the world still mostly uses systems from the 1970s. As more institutions quietly switch to this efficient alternative, those who understand XRP's real value proposition today will be ahead of the curve when the rest of the world finally catches on. Now here comes the first juicy part. We ask, why aren't people using XRP more? And it is due to lack of knowledge. But why aren't institutions using it? What if I told you in topic number 5 that they are actually using it? Behind polished corporate statements and carefully worded press releases lies an uncomfortable truth. The financial establishment doesn't want you to know. While mainstream media obsesses over Bitcoin ETFs and meme coin mania, major banks have been quietly integrating XRP into their payment systems for years. This isn't speculation. It's happening right now in the back offices of some of the world's largest financial institutions. The reality is far more interesting than what appears on the surface. Traditional banks face a fundamental problem. Their cross-border payment systems are stuck in the 1970s, slow and expensive. Meanwhile, XRP offers transactions that settle in seconds for fractions of a penny. The math is undeniable, which explains why over 300 financial institutions across 40 countries have already connected to RippleNet, the network that utilizes XRP's technology. What makes this situation particularly fascinating is the industry's reluctance to publicly acknowledge what's happening behind closed doors. Banks like Santander and Standard Chartered actively use these systems while maintaining plausible deniability about their crypto exposure. They'll proudly announce blockchain innovation, but carefully avoid mentioning XRP by name. This dance between technological necessity and regulatory caution creates one of the most peculiar adoption curves in financial history. The implications are profound. Every day, real money moves through these systems, proving the technology works at scale. Yet most retail investors remain completely unaware, distracted by flashier but less substantive crypto projects. The banking industry's gradual embrace of XRP represents a quiet revolution, one that could reshape global finance before the public even realizes what's happening. For those paying attention, the signs are everywhere. Liquidity corridors between major currencies, real-time settlement for corporate payments, and growing institutional adoption all point to the same conclusion. XRP is becoming the backbone of a new financial infrastructure. The only question is how long it will take before this open secret becomes impossible to ignore. Congrats on making it this far. Now you are in for real value, because in topic number 6, we will uncover how XRP is the only cryptocurrency that got legal integrity. The courtroom drama that shook the crypto world wasn't just about one company. It secretly rewrote the rules for the entire industry. While most investors were distracted by price swings, a federal judge delivered a verdict that gave XRP something no other major cryptocurrency has: legal clarity. This wasn't just a win for Ripple. It was a seismic shift in how regulators view digital assets. The court ruled that XRP itself isn't a security when traded on exchanges, drawing a critical line between the token and Ripple's corporate actions. For beginners, this means something profound. XRP now stands apart from hundreds of other cryptocurrencies still stuck in regulatory limbo. The implications are only now becoming clear. While Bitcoin enjoys its commodity status and Ethereum struggles with ongoing SEC questions, XRP exists in a unique category, a digital currency with a court-approved framework. This distinction matters more than most realize. Financial institutions terrified of regulatory backlash now have a cryptocurrency they can use without fear, explaining why XRP's liquidity keeps growing even when prices seem stagnant. What makes this situation truly remarkable is the timing. Just as global regulators are cracking down on crypto, XRP emerges with what amounts to a legal shield. The same court documents that cleared XRP also exposed the SEC's inconsistent approach to other tokens, creating a blueprint for the entire industry to fight back. For investors, this creates a paradox. The asset with the clearest regulatory path often gets overlooked in favor of riskier, unproven alternatives. But as the crypto world enters its next phase, where compliance matters just as much as technology, XRP's legal victory may prove to be its most valuable feature of all. And not to mention, Ripple is one of the very few companies that managed to survive a lawsuit from the SEC, and one of even fewer that won it. Okay, we already talked about banks secretly using XRP, but what if I tell you that there are countries that are experimenting with it? Would your mind blow up? I hope not, because they are. Behind closed doors in Tokyo and Abu Dhabi, financial architects are quietly constructing the future of money using technology most crypto investors ignore. While headlines obsess over Bitcoin ETFs and meme coins, two of the world's most technologically advanced nations have been experimenting with XRP as the backbone for their central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. This isn't theoretical research. Japan's SBI Group, in partnership with the country's financial giants, has already conducted successful trials using XRP's technology for instant cross-border settlements between digital yen prototypes. Meanwhile, the UAE's central bank has been running similar tests through its M-Bridge project with China and Thailand, where XRP's ledger serves as the connective tissue between different national digital currencies. What makes these developments extraordinary is the unspoken acknowledgement from regulators. These aren't rogue crypto experiments. They're government-sanctioned pilots using XRP's architecture while carefully avoiding the term cryptocurrency. The technology proves itself so valuable that central banks are willing to overlook their usual crypto skepticism. For beginners wondering why this matters, CBDCs represent the next evolution of national currencies. That Japan and the UAE, two financial powerhouses with opposing approaches to regulation, both settled on XRP's technology, speaks volumes. They've discovered what the crypto community often misses. XRP isn't just another digital asset to trade, it's the most efficient rails ever built for moving value across borders. The implications are staggering. As these projects progress from testing to implementation, the world may witness something unprecedented. Sovereign nations running their digital currencies on infrastructure originally designed for a crypto asset that many wrote off years ago. When this dam breaks, the flood of institutional adoption could reshape global finance overnight. We mentioned how Ethereum created and powered decentralized applications, but what if I told you XRP is also onto something? A silent revolution is brewing in the depths of Ripple's labs, one that could dismantle the smart contract landscape as we know it. Buried in developer forums and obscure GitHub repositories, evidence is mounting about a secretive project codenamed XRPL sidechain, an innovation that may soon give XRP capabilities no one saw coming. This isn't just another blockchain upgrade. The XRPL sidechain initiative promises to bring Ethereum-style smart contracts to the XRP Ledger, but with a critical difference: transaction speeds and costs that make Ethereum's network look archaic. Imagine executing complex DeFi operations in seconds for pennies, rather than waiting minutes and paying unpredictable gas fees. What makes this development particularly intriguing is its timing. Just as Ethereum struggles with scaling issues and regulatory uncertainty, Ripple's engineers appear to be building an alternative that combines XRP's blistering transaction speeds with programmable functionality. Early test net results suggest these sidechains could process thousands of smart contract interactions per second, a feat that would force the entire blockchain industry to reconsider its infrastructure choices. For crypto beginners, here's why this matters. The sidechain approach means developers wouldn't have to choose between speed and functionality. They could build decentralized apps on XRP's eco-friendly network while maintaining compatibility with Ethereum's tooling. It's the kind of technological leap that quietly disrupts markets before most investors even realize what's happening. The most shocking part? This innovation has been hiding in plain sight. While the crypto world speculates about XRP's payment use cases, Ripple's engineers may have been solving a much bigger problem, one that could ultimately make XRP the backbone of both global payments and decentralized finance. When this dam breaks, the ripple effects could reshape the entire crypto landscape overnight. All right, we have come to the grand finale, which is topic number 9. And we mentioned earlier how inflation is destroying traditional currencies and governments can't fight it. But what if I told you that not only does inflation not exist with XRP, but there is deflation? Beneath the surface of XRP's market charts, a financial time bomb is ticking, one that could send shockwaves through the entire crypto economy. While traders obsess over short-term price movements, they're missing the historic supply squeeze quietly building in XRP's ecosystem. This isn't speculation, it's simple mathematics playing out in slow motion. The mechanism is deceptively simple, yet profoundly powerful. Every transaction in the XRP network destroys a microscopic amount of XRP, a process called burning. At current rates, this amounts to thousands of XRP removed from circulation daily. But here's where it gets interesting. As adoption grows and transaction volume increases, this burn rate accelerates exponentially. We've seen this movie before with other assets. When circulating supply shrinks while demand holds steady or grows, the results can be explosive. What makes XRP's situation unique is the coming collision of 3 powerful forces. The ongoing escrow releases are slowing. Institutional adoption through RippleNet is accelerating, and the burn mechanism is permanently removing coins from existence. This trifecta creates a supply and demand ratio equation that could defy conventional market logic. For crypto beginners, here's why this matters. When an asset becomes both more useful and more scarce at the same time, you get the perfect conditions for a price revaluation. Unlike Bitcoin's predictable halvings or Ethereum's shifting issuance, XRP's supply dynamics are more organic, tied directly to real-world usage rather than arbitrary protocol rules. This isn't some hypothetical future scenario. The burn mechanism has already destroyed over 11 million XRP permanently. That's over $22.5 million at current prices, removed forever from the available supply. As transaction volumes grow to meet institutional demand, we could soon see millions worth of XRP burned monthly. When the market finally wakes up to this structural reality, the price discovery process could become extremely volatile in the most profitable way for those positioned early. And I know you want to hear price prediction, but we are a serious institution, so we can't do that. But I can tell you this, XRP's current market cap is around 125 billion US dollars. And that outdated system banks use that we mentioned earlier, called SWIFT, well, it has 6 trillion in daily volume. So you can do the math yourself. One more thing before we say goodbye. I can see that you are truly serious about learning crypto. And if that is the case, make sure to check one of these 2 videos. Information we provide for free is being paid thousands through courses. So the least you can do is leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you in our next video, sooner than you might think.